The loud sound of the solid slap that Adam delivered to his teenage son's face reverberated through the reception hall, leaving the guests stunned and silenced in astonishment. Lily gazed at him with disbelief and disgust, thinking to herself, no matter how audacious our son may have been, he did not deserve such humiliation in front of others. Adam's anger, which had momentarily perplexed him, resurfaced, and he pointed his index finger towards his son's distressed face. With furrowed brows and clenched teeth, he spoke with a trembling voice. "From now on, until I say so, you have no right to leave your room." That night, after the dinner party, Liam didn't come out of his room. Lily, who was expected to start scolding Adam right after the guests left, didn't utter a word. The next day, as usual, Adam woke up a little before sunrise and was busy straightening his tie in front of the bedroom mirror to get to work early. Lily, lying on the bed with her back to him, said in a hoarse voice, "You know that Liam bullies his classmates at school, right? They asked us to go to the school today." No sound came from Adam. Lily got up and sat on the bed. Adam looked at her reflection in the mirror, took a deep breath, and muttered under his breath, "Here we go again." Lily continued, "You're coming today, right? Be there at 2 p.m. Adam answered, "You know I have work. I can't make it. You have to handle it somehow yourself." Lily, worn out, got up and grabbed Adam's arm, preventing him from leaving, and said, "What do you mean, handle it yourself? Is he just my son?" Adam pulled his arm away from Lily's grip and said, "Perhaps he realized last night how his classmates feel." With surprise, Lily asked, "What? You mean, I can't believe you're defending your actions from last night. You really think—" Before Lily could finish her sentence, Adam closed the door of the room and left. Lily, now angry, followed him from room to room, scolding him, but Adam could only hear Lily's continuous nagging and nothing else. Adam was busy working in his office. The time had passed 2 p.m., but the sun was still scorching, and the air was intensely hot. The sunlight reflecting off the mirror in the room was directly hitting Adam's eyes. Exhausted, he turned to his colleague and said, "Pull that darn curtain." The office hours had passed, but Adam was still working late into the night to avoid hearing Lily's endless complaints. Eventually, after everyone had left and all the lights in the company were turned off, Adam also turned off the light in his office to go home. However, it was even darker than he expected, and he could hardly see where to put his foot. Annoyed, he turned on the flashlight of his mobile phone and muttered, "Stupid idiots even turned off the emergency lights." As he passed by the office mirror, he felt as if his reflection had momentarily frozen in motion. Amused by his own foolish thoughts, he chuckled and turned back towards the mirror, casting another glance at himself, saying, "I must be so tired that I'm hallucinating." He put the key in the lock and opened the door. The house was dark. Thinking to himself, "Thank God, Lily must be asleep," he threw his bag and coat in a corner and went to the kitchen to get some water after that hot and scorching day. In the kitchen, something shook him. A disheveled woman stood next to the sink with her hair loose. As Lily turned around, Adam saw her face, twisted in an unnatural and unfriendly way, with wide open eyes filled with resentment, and she smiled broadly across her face, sending shivers down his spine. Lily began to loudly clap her hands, almost shouting, "Bravo! Bravo! Exemplary father and husband! You finally managed to find your way home. I really congratulate you on that. Adam, who was bewildered, could only say, "You must be crazy." Lily, still wearing that eerie smile, continued to laugh and said, "Yes, I am crazy. It's obvious that I'm crazy. How can I live with you and not go mad?" The next morning, Lily recounted the events of the previous night and said, "With your action, you've only made him want to bully his classmates even more and do things that make others feel exactly what he feels. You need to talk to him. Your anger won't force him to behave properly. He only does what he learns from you." Adam, realizing that Lily was right, became frustrated. But despite understanding his mistake, the thought of apologizing to his son made him even angrier. So, with anger in his voice, Adam said, "I don't want to hear any of your voices anymore." Lily, tired of pleading, raised a shoulder in a sign of surrender and said with disappointment, "Fine, we'll go, so you can have your life in silence and tranquility." It was night, and the house was engulfed in silence and darkness. Lily and her son had left. Liam didn't even look at his father as they left. Adam, still immersed in his anger and pride, didn't stop them and thought to himself that a short break for all three of them might be a good thing. But it wasn't like that, and Adam was gravely mistaken. Adam spent his days without worrying about hearing Lily's complaints. He would end the night without any extra work and eventually find peace and tranquility at home. His eyelids had become heavy, and he was slowly dozing off on the couch when he startled awake at the loud sound of the door closing in Liam's room. That night, in a strange contrast to the previous day when the sun blazed everywhere, strong winds and heavy rain had taken over. Adam reluctantly closed the windows and prepared for bed. While brushing his teeth, he noticed a small flaw in his front tooth that he had never seen before. He vigorously brushed the tooth, almost obsessively, but it seemed that the more he brushed, the bigger the flaw became, and his teeth turned blacker and blacker. At first, he thought he was mistaken, and, with a little hesitation, he got closer to the mirror, but suddenly, an eerie, black dirt spewed out of his mouth in the mirror's reflection. His reflection in the mirror showed a filthy mouth with angry and terrifying eyes, a sinister smile wider than his face, delivering a horrifying expression to Adam. Terrified, Adam stepped back, his hands on his face, trying to compose himself. "Just tired. You've been under pressure, and you're seeing things wrong." He took a deep breath, and with uncertainty, looked again at the mirror. Everything seemed normal. As he headed towards the room, his mind was so preoccupied with that horrific image that he forgot his wife and son were not at home. So, he called out from the room, "Lily, can you bring some water too?" He then heard Lily's voice responding, "Sure, my dear." After a few moments of hearing Lily's voice, he remembered their absence and felt a shiver. Maybe he has gone crazy. Perhaps a thief has entered the house. So, as he cautiously stepped out of the room and looked around carefully, he called Lily on the phone. "Lily, are you back?" To his surprise, Lily responded, "What do you mean, are you back? Just yesterday, you willingly sent us away. Don't even think we're coming back." And then she hung up the phone. The windows were open again, and the lights in the house were dimming due to the fierce storm. Adam went to close the window but saw his reflection in it, and a breath got stuck in his throat. He had become extremely terrifying, his eyes looking angry and demonic, and black filth continuously oozed out of his dirty mouth, all the while giving a big and sinister smile at him. Adam was frozen in place, unable to move from where he was. Suddenly, he thought he heard Liam's voice. "Daddy!" Adam turned his head and shouted, "Liam! Are you back?" But there was no sign of Liam. The reflection, no matter where it could reflect light, appeared horrifying and more terrifying. His reflection on the dark TV screen was getting closer and closer, still giving him a menacing and devilish smile. Adam, trembling, quickly turned on the TV and turned off all the lights in the house so that there would be no reflection. Still bewildered and frightened by the ordeal he had faced, he sat on the couch, facing the television, attempting to calm himself by focusing on the dialogues of the movie playing. At the same time, he tried to call Lily again. His eyes fixed on the TV screen, he anxiously waited for Lily to pick up the call. Suddenly, one of the characters from the movie appeared on the screen, pressing his face and hands against the television screen, and yelled, "Lily will never answer you, you foolish idiot." Then, with an eerie demonic laughter, the character vanished. Adam, startled, rushed towards the room. But as he saw the mirror in the room, he quickly realized he had made a grave mistake. Before he could escape, a horrifying and distorted reflection of himself emerged from the mirror, and an evil-looking figure delivered a powerful blow to his face, sending him crashing to the ground. Almost paralyzed with fear, Adam managed to remember that Liam's room was the only one without any windows or mirrors. He hurriedly fled to Liam's room and locked the door. Clutching his knees to his chest behind the closed door, he tried to calm himself. Inside Liam's room, it was pitch dark, and there were no signs of any reflections. But the cries of Lily and Liam made him restless. Knowing that the sounds were not real, he tightly covered his ears, but it was of no use. Time passed, and the cries gradually subsided, but Adam was still trembling with fear. He felt that he was now on the verge of losing his mind due to fear. So, in Liam's room, he sought something to distract himself a little. In the complete darkness of the room, his hand bumped into something cold and hard. It was a box. He opened it, and upon seeing the gift he had bought for Liam's birthday years ago, he remembered Liam's childhood and became sentimental. Little Liam had said he wanted to be like his father one day, and Adam thought his son had truly become like him. Feeling deep homesickness, loneliness, and regret, Adam tried once again to call Liam and Lily and ask them to come back home. Liam wasn't answering the phone, and Adam, exhausted and in despair, kept calling Liam's name while continuously crying. The next morning, Adam woke up with a burning fever. He found himself lying in his bed in his room. Lily was standing beside him with a wet towel, and Liam was standing by the door, looking at his father with concern. As Adam regained some composure, he quickly sat up and wiped the tears from his eyes, recalling the horrifying events of the previous night. He said, "Liam," with desperation. Worried and puzzled, Lily responded, "Adam, Liam is here. We're right here. You've been calling Liam's name all night. Why were you sleeping on the couch? You left the windows open. It's obvious you'll catch a cold." Perplexed, Adam asked, "But I was sleeping in Liam's room. I tried calling you several times, but you didn't answer." Lily said, "You never called us. We were at the beginning of the road when they told us we couldn't continue due to the strong winds and rain. We turned back and saw you had left all the windows open and were sleeping on the couch. You must have been dreaming." Adam looked at his feverish face and, with a sense of calm, took a deep breath. Then he opened his arms wide and looked at his son and wife with a tearful gaze. Liam and Lily embraced Adam. Lily said, "I told you to close all the doors and windows before going to bed." Adam smiled and thought to himself, "Lily's complaints have never been this sweet."
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.